Hello, and welcome to my slow descent into madness. Yes, I know that not only did my audio quality drop last week, but this week my video and audio quality dropped again. But I'm home. As you guys can see, I dropped out of college. I'm just kidding. That is a joke. I just got a little homesick, came home. Wow, my face is very much overexposed. I came home and I really didn't feel like bringing all my gear with me, so here we are using a $10 GarageBand mic and my old webcam that I used to record videos on. So, is this dumb? Should I have brought my gear? Oh yeah, definitely, but I have a lot of anxiety. If I would have brought my gear, that would have meant I was walking out to my car to leave with 2 backpacks, and my anxiety could not handle that. I know that no one would have cared. They would have been like, oh, it's that guy, the film major, with his backpack and then his gear bag, which he always has with him when he goes on film shoots. He's got to shoot or something. Like, no one would have cared. But my anxiety just wouldn't let me go. Anyway, that's not what you guys are here for. You guys are here for a story. Y'all want to be immersed in this universe that I'm adding onto. Here's my pitch for Avatar Series 3, Season 2. I'm Mother Goose, by the way, and welcome to my channel. If you've not watched my pitch for Season 1, definitely go check that out, because not only do I talk about some important things that happen in that season, I also talk about a lot of things that I want to accomplish, like with this series. Go check out Episode 1. There's a link for it right here. Season 1 ends. Sozin's comet comes. There's a Fire Nation, small civil war. The Avatar is able to save the day. She has now mastered firebending and has now moved on to airbending. So, from here, her and Team Avatar travel to the Western Air Temple. It's the closest air temple, and that's where she meets her master. There's going to be a new character around their age. This character, I'm thinking, is a guy. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I definitely want your guys' opinion on this. And from there, she begins her airbending training. So, I don't want them to stay at one air nomad temple, so I imagine them traveling to all 4 air nomad temples and also visiting the one in Republic City as well. As they're traveling, this Avatar has the same philosophy she had with the Fire Nation. She wants to not only learn about how to airbend or firebend when she was, but she wants to learn about the culture. She wants to meet the people. She actually wants to interact with them. And so that's why her and Team Avatar are going to be traveling to each temple, so she can actually meet with the air nomads and learn as much as she can about them. But I had the greatest idea last night, and I was sitting there and I was like, man, I'm so glad I didn't record this week's episode. So at this point, everyone from the original series is gone except one person, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, she would be literally 100 years old at this point, because she was born right before Sozin's comet, and then the next Sozin's comet just passed, so she would literally be 100 years old. But we know from characters like Boomy and Kyoshi, who lived to be 230, and don't even get me started on the Avatar before Kyoshi. I think his name was Korra. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I've got a whole video planned to talk about him, because everyone's like, oh, Kyoshi lived to be 230. That's nothing compared to the Avatar before her. But we're going to talk about that in a later video, so let's not take any more time on this. I'm sorry. It's literally 12 o'clock. I've spent 6 hours driving. I'm a mess. My life is a mess right now, but I am on that grind, and I'm getting you guys this content. Anyway, so this character is Hope. You probably knew that, saying I said she was born, but it's Hope from the Earth Kingdom couple that traveled with the gang for a little bit, and she literally gave Aang hope again. And so what I don't want this to be like a major thing, maybe just like one episode where while the Avatar is traveling, they get some sort of a communication. At this point, it might be a phone, it might be a letter, it might be a hawk that comes and finds them, and it's requesting that the Avatar come visit Hope. And so she does. At this point, we don't know who she is, and she gets there, and she's like, okay, who is it that I'm meeting? And we see, again, that it's Hope. Then we learn just a little more backstory on Aang and Katara, and a little bit on Korra about how Aang and Katara frequently went to go visit Hope and watch her grow up, and then how even after Aang died, that Korra and her had a not as large a relationship, but they still had a relationship, and Hope just really wanted to meet the new Avatar before she passed away. And that just makes my heart happy a little bit, just thinking about this little girl who gave Aang hope being connected to not just Aang, but Korra, and now even this next Avatar, going into the theme of friendships that could last multiple lifetimes. Anyway, back to the main story. So, they're traveling around, she's learning airbending, but they're also trying to find hints on the Red Lotus, trying to figure out where they are. While this is going on, the Avatar's brother is continuing to hone his skills in earthbending and to just become a better and better earthbender. But not only that, is he rising up the ranks of the Red Lotus. And halfway through the seasons, we visited at least 2, maybe 3 of the temples at this point. The Avatar gets a hint of where the Red Lotus is, and there's a small little battle. And as the battle is taking place, the Avatar sees her brother. She realizes that he's a part of the Red Lotus. They don't really have contact. It's like just a quick thing, maybe at the end of the battle, as maybe the Red Lotus is escaping. She realizes one of the members is her brother, and there's this sense of dread that comes over her. But they continue on their journey. While this is going on, and I meant to talk about this in the first episode, Korra is actually in the spirit world trying to find the past Avatar lives. She's trying to reconnect the cycles, and I know that's a little decisive. There's a lot of the community who really wants the cycle to be reattached, and there's a lot of the community that's like, I'm okay with the past lives being gone. You gotta get rid of the old to move into the new. I'm on the side of, I really want to see the Avatar cycle reconnected. And again, this whole video is just my personal opinion, so I'm throwing that in there. Please feel free to have a dialogue with me in the comments. Let's talk about it. Anyway, so Korra's in the spirit world. I mean, she's also being an Avatar guide to this new Avatar, but she's also in the spirit world trying to find the past Avatars. And this whole series comes to a conclusion. Like I said, this one's going to be shorter than the last one. When the Avatar's brother becomes Grandmaster. This series, just like the last one, takes place over a couple of years. He becomes the Grandmaster of the Red Lotus and decides to attack his sister because he's convinced that if he captures her, he can figure out a way to steal the Avatar spirit from her because that was his destiny and she took that from him. Obviously, I disagree with it. It was her destiny, but like that's his sense. That's what's going through his mind. He believed 100% that was his destiny. Anyway, let's continue on. Wow, I just look like a maniac. She's now made it back to the Western Air Temple. And just for a reminder, this is the Air Temple where the buildings are upside down. This is the one where Combustion Man, Sparky, Boom Man, for those of us with culture, attacked the gang, and Zuko kind of saved them, even though Sokka was the real goat that day. So she's back at the Air Temple, and the Red Lotus attack. And this is like a serious attack. Like, it's not just like a small little battle. Like, they are laying siege. They are killing airbenders again. They are destroying these buildings, which again are hanging upside down. Hit them in the right place and they just go whoop. Now, I'm going to talk about the Legend of Korra. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really like the Legend of Korra, but one of my biggest complaints is we never got an old masters moment like we got in Avatar The Last Airbender, where all of the older masters who turned out to be part of the White Lotus came together and retook Ba Sing Se. I personally believe we could have had a really great old masters moment in Season 3 against the original Red Lotus. At this point, we didn't know that Toph was around, but just imagine how hyped it would have been. Season 3, Korra is getting her butt kicked by the Red Lotus, and then just out of nowhere, Zuko and Katara come in, and they start fighting back, and they start kicking the Red Lotus's butt. And then the battle starts to look kind of even. It's going back and forth. You're not sure what's really happening. And then Toph comes out, just out of nowhere, just comes out, and just turns the tides. You know it would have been epic. You know. Just to have that moment where the last members of the gang came together. But oh well, we didn't get it. Whatever. We're getting it now. The Western Air Temple's under attack. Who shows up? Jinora. She's pissed. Opal, pissed. Who's with them? Mako, Bolin, Asami, and they come in and they actually save the day. But during the battle, the Avatar meets her brother. She goes into the Avatar state, and they're fighting it out. And at this point, he has mastered earthbending, like mastered earthbending. And something else I wanted to talk about in the first episode that I didn't is I believe that I'm calling it touched by Rava. So he may not have the spirit of Rava in him, but because he was the twin of the Avatar, he still has a connection with her that other people don't have. So his bending's a little more pristine. I believe that's what gives him the ability to actually learn all of the subcategories, metal bending and lava bending. Being connected to Rava in the way that he is still gave him a little power boost, even though he's not the Avatar. Even though he can't bend all the elements, he's still better than most. And again, I would like to arguably say that at this point, he is the most powerful earthbender that we've seen so far. And I know that hurts to say. Toph will always be the best in my mind. At this point, he knows even a category of bending that Toph did not. And again, that hurts me to say, Toph, I love you. You will always be my favorite earthbender. But like I said in the first episode, in the first season, I want the Avatar to become the most powerful Avatar that we've seen so far. So, logically, we need the most powerful villain that we've seen so far to really counteract her. Anyway, they fight. It's epic. He is using all the subcategories. He's also using other bending techniques. He's using water bending techniques. He's using air bending techniques. He's using fire bending techniques with his earth bending to really counteract his sister. She loses, and she loses bad. And the only reason she doesn't get captured is because the old masters, Korra's team Avatar, come in and save her. They save the day. They save most of the Western Air Temple. And the series ends with the Avatar feeling absolutely defeated because she feels like she failed the Airbenders. She lost. If it wasn't for someone else, she would not have made it. And she starts to meditate. She reaches out to Korra. But it's not Korra who answers her. It's Aang. He fully understands how she's feeling, because not only did he feel like he failed the world when he went into the iceberg for 100 years, which I arguably say he didn't. I think that was fate. That's a topic for another video. He also feels like he failed the world at the siege of Ba Sing Se when it fell to the Fire Nation, and he almost died. I mean, he says it himself. He did die, and Katara brought him back. Anyway, he understands how she's feeling. It's the combination of Korra searching for the past lives. This season is based on the Air Nomad, so the Avatar has been learning a lot about spirituality and connecting with the spirit world, and her sense of defeat and just looking for true guidance. When all of these things come together, she's able to reconnect with the past Avatar lives. Again, mostly it's what Korra's doing, but the Avatar still has a part to play in it. I think it would be really amazing if the series just ended as she's meditating and a hand touches her shoulder and she looks up and it's Aang. Boom. Credits roll. Anyway, this is just my personal pitch for what I want the next series to be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and feel free, if you guys have any character ideas or character names, let me know in the comments below, because I'm really bad with names. As you probably noticed, I haven't named any characters, and that's probably really annoying, and it probably would have been much better for the video if I did, but I'm just really bad with names. So give me your name suggestions. What should the Avatar be called? What should her brother be called? Just a reminder, at this point, Team Avatar is the Avatar, obviously, a firebender, a waterbender, and an airbender, and maybe some other characters. Let me know. Do you guys have some characters you feel would make a really good appearance in the show? Let me know. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to join the flock, and I will be back next week with part 3 and the conclusion to this series. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, sorry about the quality of my video, and I will be back later. Mother Goose out.